Okay, so to get this guy to work, since it's i2c, we need to actually install a library that'll communicate with it. And to do that, it's really pretty easy. I just did it. And what I did is you want to click, go open up Arduino. You want to click on this set of bookcases here. And then what I searched was liquid crystal underscore i2c. Okay? And several of them will show. The one that I've been working with lately here, which is a classic, it's actually been around for quite a while, is this one right here, Liquid Crystal i2c by Frank D. Barbander. Okay, so go ahead and I installed it. Install it. Okay, I'm not going to remove it. You go ahead and install it. And why don't I pause it for a second, and I'll be right back. Alright, so once it's installed, you should have gotten some messages down here, and it should let you know that it's installed. Go up here to File, go to Examples, and then I've got tons of things that are installed. You're going to be looking for the liquid crystal underscore i2c, and then just type in Hello World. Okay, and we're going to get a nice new sketch that opens up. Now, this particular sketch, let's see, here we go, is written for a slightly different device. No problem. Let me just show you. So if you look at this one here that I provided with you, if you look carefully, you can see there's actually only 2 rows and there are 16 columns, okay? And LCDs come in a lot of different types. So we need to explicitly tell it that we have a 16 by 2. And even with that, right now, we should be able to, just load it, although we're going to clean this up a little bit. If we load it in, what should happen, let me open this up, is, boom, okay, we've got it coming on. So if you don't have it, do not panic, all right? A lot of kids don't the first time out, and that's because the contrast is probably not set correctly. So if everything looks like it should be working but you don't see anything, you might need to get a small Phillips screwdriver. You should have one in your toolbox. There's a couple laying around, and you might have to adjust this screw on the back, which is your contrast. Okay, so try turning the screw slowly. Maybe have somebody else looking at it while you turn it, and then hopefully it'll just pop up and you'll see this. But there's a real good chance that if you're using an LCD for the first time, the contrast isn't going to be correct. So once you've got that contrast correct, let's go take a look at the code. We're going to change it a little bit. First off, I think I'm going to save as. All right, because I don't want to ruin the original. And wow, that's taking a long time. There we go. And I'm going to call this my i2c LCD underscore 1. Okay. First file. Now, like I said, this piece of code was originally written for a 20 by 4. So if we can get rid this number right here. See that 3 0, that 2 1. That 0, that 1, that 2, that 3 indicates the rows. We don't even have a 2 or a 3. So I'm just going to delete all that junk right there. Okay, we don't even have it. And now I'm going to change this to something else. I can say welcome class. And if I load this, okay, so now you can see it's displaying that. Now let's do another little piece of code. Hold on a second. I just want to show you another thing. This first digit, okay, this one right here tells me which row. This one tells me which column. So I'm going to put that on 0 0, and I'm going to put this on 1 1. And as I load this, you'll see that the display will change. And what should happen is this is already started on the 3rd. Now I'm saying started on the 0, and I'm saying this one started on the 1st. So we should see everything move over accordingly. Okay? So that's how you sort of set where you want it to start. That being said, let me do another alteration here. I'm going to pause it, set up a piece of code. I'll post this piece of code so you'll have it, and we can work from there. So just give me a moment. Okay, so if we look at this code, you can see so far everything's happening in setup. Nothing's happening in the loop. And of course setup runs only once, so it goes ahead, turns on the backlight, sets the cursor position, prints hello world, moves the cursor position to the first position on the second line down, prints hello class. And it's done. There's nothing in the loop, so that it's just in a loop. Okay, so this runs one time, and of course you see now we got our display. Now let's take and put something in the loop. I'm going to just make a simple counter, and I'm going to put it on the second line. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so right now if I load this, you'll see that we're only going to have hello world, okay, pop up as soon as it loads. There we go. And now let's just throw a real simple counter into my loop. So I'm going to start my counter at the cursor position. I'm going to copy and paste. Control-C. And I'm going to start it at the 0 position on the 1 line. Okay, so this is the second row, first column. All right, and then let's just have it do something really simple. Let's just do an lcd.print. And let's just make it do, we're going to do millis. This is a classic. And we're simply going to divide that by 1,000. So what that actually does is millis is a timer. From the time the code is loaded, it counts milliseconds. We're going to divide that by 1,000, and we're simply going to display it. All right. So this should print once per second. Okay, and let's load it and see what it looks like. And there you go. Okay, so I think I'm done. Sorry, that cut out. I think I'm done with this little introduction. And I will continue on here shortly, and we'll expand what we can do with this LCD. See you shortly.